Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. I've missed you all. I know it has been a while, and I thought, what a better way to come back than with a tag video. So today we are talking about the famous 5 fragrances I love and 5 I hate tag, but with a little twist. I couldn't help myself, and I decided to spice up, if you will, the video a little bit, and I decided to talk about 5 fragrances that are very popular that I absolutely hate, or hate is a strong word, that I dislike, let's say like that, and 5 fragrances that I absolutely love that are not exactly popular, or maybe they are not talked about enough in the fragrance community, in my opinion. So if you want to know the fragrances that I picked, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. So let's start with the fragrances that I hate, and I shouldn't say hate because it's kind of a strong word, and there is not a lot of fragrances that really I hate. Maybe 2 from this list, but the rest is more of a dislike. So I don't wear these fragrances, but I'm okay smelling them on other people. And obviously, since I dislike these fragrances, I don't have a bottle of them, so I will just leave a picture of them here, although the majority of these fragrances are well known. So let's start with the biggest surprise, and that is Mugler Alien. Yes, this is actually a fragrance that I hate. I just can't do this fragrance. I tried to love it because a lot of even people who have similar taste to mine seem to absolutely love this fragrance, and I love jasmine, but I don't know. I just can't bear this fragrance. I don't like to smell it. I don't like even people around me to wear it. This is how much I dislike this fragrance. And it is a big surprise because I absolutely love jasmine. Jasmine is one of my favorite notes. I also love ambery fragrances. So this fragrance should be right up my alley, but I just can't do it. The jasmine is hydraulic, almost plasticky like to my nose. I just can't do this fragrance. I hate it. It's actually one of the fragrances that I can say that I absolutely hate. I will admit that it's a unique jasmine fragrance, so there is not a lot of fragrances that are very similar. Jasmine is, after all, a very popular note in fragrances, but Mugler managed to create a fragrance that is quite unique, so maybe the name Alien. And I recognize that it has a very good performance and it's unique, and a lot of people categorize it as a man-eater, sexy fragrance, and I just can't see how this fragrance can be sexy. I'm sorry, but I just can't. So Alien from Mugler is a definite hate for me. Next fragrance that I can't understand the hype behind it, and I can almost say I hate it, is Santal 33 from Le Labo. Oh my god, I heard so many things about this fragrance, and when I finally went and tested it, I was like, I hate the smell. I can't see why would someone like it. Actually, it smelled nasty to me, and I can't understand that this is the most popular fragrance from Le Labo. That fragrance is a big no, and I can't imagine sitting beside someone who wears this fragrance and I'm like, you smell good. Actually, I would be offended by it, to be honest. So with Alien from Mugler, I can see that some people can love it, but with Santal 33, I just can't. I can't understand why this fragrance is so popular and why so many people love it, honestly. So if you don't know how Santal 33 smells like, basically it's sandalwood fragrance with a little bit of iris, there is papyrus, leather. So as you can see, it's quite, to me, almost a masculine fragrance, although it's quite unisex, but definitely leaning masculine. But the sandalwood is really off-putting in this fragrance. So it's one of the fragrances that I don't like, and I absolutely can't recommend because I can't imagine how someone can love this fragrance. So that was Santal 33 from Le Labo. Next is a very, very popular fragrance, and that is Black Opium. And I am quite consistent when it comes to me not liking this fragrance. So I didn't like it when it was first released, and I still don't like it. There is no flanker, maybe a little bit the latest one, I don't remember the name now, not Illicit Green, the one before. Anyway, I will leave the name here. Was kind of okay to me, but I don't know. This fragrance is, to my nose, a big mess. Very screechy, not well blended, and just off-putting. It's such a strong statement maker fragrance that I actually can remember almost every person I smelled this fragrance on, even random people. It makes such an impression, at least to me, that I actually remember the person. So this is maybe why a lot of people like it, because it is a statement maker fragrance, definitely more for the evening. And this is also, I just can't see people who wear this fragrance in summer and in the day and in the morning. I'm just like, oh my god, no. This is too much. This sweet coffee, vanilla, floral mess I just can't deal with. I think it's one of the fragrances that if you love Good Girl from Carolina Herrera, you will definitely like Black Opium. That said, I definitely prefer Carolina Herrera's fragrance to Black Opium. So Black Opium from Yves Saint Laurent is a very strong dislike for me. Since we talked about Black Opium, let's move to a fragrance that I actually liked in the past, and now I just can't smell that fragrance. And I'm talking about Good Girl from Carolina Herrera. I don't know what happened, but I just can't deal with this fragrance. Now it almost has the same effect on me like Black Opium. So it's messy, it's screechy, it's too much in one. I don't know what happened. Maybe my nose evolved, or maybe my taste changed. Whatever happened, I don't like this fragrance anymore. It's a kind of a strong dislike now, but not to the point that I would, I don't know, be off-put by someone who wears it. I had it in my collection, I decluttered it because I could not handle this mess that this fragrance is now to me. Too many notes that are clashing to my nose. I just can't deal with that fragrance anymore, and I definitely prefer the new flankers, the very Good Girl flankers, to the original Good Girl. So Carolina Herrera, Good Girl, and almost strong dislike. Last fragrance is another one that I can't say that I loved when it was first released, but I then kind of convinced myself and bought it, but it didn't remain for long in my collection and I decluttered it. And I'm talking about, again, an Yves Saint Laurent fragrance, and that is Libre. So the opening of Libre I actually really like in all the flankers. I didn't test yet Le Parfum, the new flankers that came out I think a week ago or something, but the dry down, I just can't deal with the dry down of Libre. It's so screechy to my nose. Ugh. It's not the lavender. I don't think that it's the lavender that I dislike. Okay, lavender is not one of my favorite notes. I will admit to that. But to me, again, it's just not well blended enough. My favorite flanker is the Eau de Toilette. That one I find retains this a little bit freshness, this attractive opening that Libre has. But at the end, I also decluttered that one because I don't use it enough to keep it in my collection. So I would say the one that I dislike most is the Eau de Parfum, the original one. I can't deal with this fragrance. Again, love the opening. The opening gets me every time. Every single time I say, why do I dislike this fragrance? And then when I put it on my skin and it arrives to the dry down, no, I just scrub it off my skin. So Yves Saint Laurent Libre, another big dislike for me. Now let's get to the 5 fragrances that I love. And as I said, I decided to speak about 5 fragrances that are underrated in my opinion, that I love or are not talked about enough, or maybe not popular, or maybe disliked by a lot of people. And the reason that I tweaked a little bit the tag is because I've recently did my top 15 or 10 fragrances for life. So obviously the 5 fragrances that I am going to talk about, if I have to speak about my favorite or my 5 loves, they are 5 from this video. So I will leave that video linked down below and also in the eye up here if you want to know my absolute favorite fragrances in my collection. And let's start the list with my absolute favorite fragrance of all time, and it's definitely a fragrance that is in my top 10 for life, and I decided to include it just because nobody talks about it, and this is Chanel Coco Eau de Parfum. Now I have to admit it's not for everybody. It's definitely for a mature woman, more of a sophisticated ladylike fragrance, has a slightly vintage touch. I just love it. There is nothing like this fragrance. To me, this is my favorite Chanel. It's a masterpiece in my opinion. Definitely reformulated because I have the original, but still in the dry downs they are quite similar. So this is quite a complex fragrance, as all Chanel fragrances are. It's spicy, it's ambery, slightly sweet, slightly floral. Main notes that I personally can distinguish in this fragrance are cloves, amber, and maybe rose. Yeah, cloves and rose on a bed of flowers and amber. It's such a gorgeous scent that I highly recommend if you want this boss lady, a little bit vibe, this old money vibe. I mean, it's sophistication, it's luxury, and also it's a Chanel, I can't say more, and has a very good performance. So it checks all the boxes for me. It also is connected to a lot of memories because it is my absolute first fragrance I ever had in my life. So love this one and I can't live without it, and I wish that more people would talk about it. Next we have an Armani Privé. And I feel like when it comes to Armani Privé, everybody talks about or Rouge Malachite, now the new released Magenta Tanzanite, and Pivot Suzu. These are, I mean, the 3 fragrances that are very popular from the Armani Privé line, and this line is absolutely my favorite. I have so many fragrances from this line. I actually have a couple on my wish list. But I feel like no one talks about 2 that I would consider a gem. And I'm going to talk about these 2. So Ambre Eccentrico and Vert Malachite. I feel like Vert Malachite is a little bit talked about when it was first released and then no one talks about it. And Ambre Eccentrico actually, I don't remember seeing anyone talk about this fragrance And these two are definitely a hidden gem from the line. I actually would recommend you checking the whole line because they have stunning fragrances. So let's talk about Vert Malachite. And this is almost a bubblegummy jasmine. So it's a very creamy jasmine. There is jasmine, there is yellow flowers, so it has this creamy tropical touch. But I wouldn't consider it a tropical fragrance or something that I can wear during the summer. It's quite a heavy fragrance, and this is maybe why a lot of people don't talk about it. If you love Tuberose Imperial from BDK, I think you would like this one. Tuberose Imperial is definitely a very bubblegummy tuberose, and this is more jasmine, although I smell a little bit of tuberose, by the way. But the two are extremely similar to my nose. It's only that I definitely prefer Vert Malachite because I love jasmine and I struggle a little bit with tuberose. Amazing performance. I just can't understand why this fragrance doesn't get the hype that it deserves. Stunning fragrance. Vert Malachite. Now let's talk about this one. And this is a spicy sweet amber. There is a lot of cinnamon, and as you all know, I love cinnamon. It has dried fruits that gives this sweetness. It's ambery, but you may see these notes and say, well, it's not so special, but just try it. It's so special. I get a little bit of a woody touch, although I think there's no woody notes. There is also tonka bean and patchouli, so it shares a little bit of similarities with Blessed Baraka, with Khalil from Parfum de Marly, in the way that they are blended. I can't explain it. Not that they are similar fragrances, but they just give me the same vibe. So it's quite a sophisticated, put together, alluring. It's definitely a fragrance for winter. It's very heavy, very long lasting, and very projecting, especially if you spray on clothes. The only downside to this fragrance, in my opinion, is that there aren't enough occasion for me to wear it because it's quite heavy, and definitely more when you are put together in the evening. I wouldn't say it's a date night fragrance, but slightly boss lady. So it's for a confident, put together person. It's actually unisex, right in the middle. Definitely men and women can wear it. Love this fragrance. It just gives me this confident, put together person. I don't know. This is definitely a big love for me. Another fragrance that I feel like is not talked about enough, let's say. I did hear some people talk about it, but to me it deserves more hype, is Michael Kors Wonderlust. You can't go almost with any of the Michael Kors. I have three. So the original one, the Eau Fraiche, the Eau Voyage. Love all three of them. But if I have to go with one, I would say I will go with the original one. Again, there is jasmine. It's an ambery jasmine. There is also almond and heliotrope, which honestly I couldn't get when I first smelled this fragrance. But when I read the notes, I could get it somehow. So it had a kind of a edible touch. Not that this is a gourmand in any way, but it does have a nutty edible touch. Very soft. There is also vanilla or benzoin, I don't remember now. You can also smell a little bit of the sandalwood. And I love this fragrance. And I actually wore the flankers, the Eau Voyage, this year quite a lot. As you can see, I have quite a dent also in this one. This is for me the perfect date night fragrance during summer. Especially vacation. I don't know why. I just associate this fragrance with vacation. I don't know why. Maybe because of the commercial. But yeah, Michael Kors Wonderlust, definitely you have to check it if you love jasmine. It's one of the best designer fragrances with a predominant jasmine note. Now, the last fragrance I really struggled with because I actually have three. But at the end, I decided to go with this one because to me, I think this is the least popular one. So, number five, I have Easy Miyake Dropped Easy. So, when I first talked about this fragrance, I saw that quite a lot of people like it, at least from the comments that I got. But still, I find that no one talks about this one. And I think I know why. It's not, again, a fragrance for everybody. It has this powdery body lotion vibe to it that maybe a lot of people don't like. However, I am totally obsessed with this fragrance, and it's my go-to bed scent from during autumn and winter. I actually did wear this one last night, and I was like, I love this fragrance. I was so happy when I woke up. I could smell a little bit of the fragrance from my pajama, so I was so happy. It's just this fluffy cloud that just makes me feel cozy, clean, innocent. I don't know. It's just so beautiful. It's not like I wear it only as a bed scent. I also did wear it a couple of times outside, but to me, this is the perfect bed scent. Very feminine, very delicate. Mostly it's a lilac fragrance, so a powdery floral fragrance. They did come out with a flanker to this one, which I did a review on. If you didn't catch that one, I will leave it linked down below, also in the eye up here. But this is the best. I definitely prefer this one to the flanker. If you are curious about that, then go check the video. But this to me is the best. As you can see, the dent speaks for itself. So number five, I dropped easy from Easy Miyake. So with that, I finished. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. Please tell me in the comments down below what is the 5 fragrances that are very popular that you absolutely hate, and the 5 fragrances that nobody talks about and you absolutely love. I'm really curious to know your selection. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!